Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship with another clickbait velocity banking review for today. So, what is the title of today's video? It's I Can't Believe It. Easy debt payoff can't be real. Clickbait faced arrow at lots of money, right? That's the formula of creating a clickbait thumbnail. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm just some random dude who paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months, and I did it in July 29, 2024. And I took a screenshot of it, and I've been talking about velocity banking and yada yada yada. And so, what is velocity banking? Well, basically, it's just a debt payoff strategy where throughout pretty much the entirety of your debt payoff journey, you're not going to save money, and you're going to do it something with the help of a line of credit. So first step to velocity banking is creating a budget, because your budget is your debt attack plan, right? So you have your income here, you have your expenses afterwards, and then you have your leftover savings. That's how um, traditional banking is done. You pay your bills, and then it's a responsible thing to save money. But in this case, we have 8 credit cards, a student loan, and a mortgage. And how are we going to save money when all of our debt is sucking up all of our income, right? So we're not going to do that. So with velocity banking, same income, same expenses, right? But we're not going to save money. Oh, I know, it's pretty scary, right? So look at this. Didn't save money. And when I wake up and go into my bank account and I see that money is saved, I'm a little bit concerned. Okay. This is just me personally. I don't give anybody financial advice, but if I don't see a number close to zero in my bank account, I'm a little bit scared. Okay. I'm a little bit scared. So let me go here and talk about lines of credit. So if you don't know what a line of credit is, all it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So a credit card's a line of credit, but I also have a home equity and a personal line of credit, right? And so what is a home equity or personal line of credit? Well, basically you go to the bank's website, you click a button, and they'll dump up to a certain limit into your checking account. So it's like liquid cash, but they charge you an interest rate of maybe 7 to 12%, right? And I have over $731,000 in lines of credit. Okay, $731,000 in lines of credit. And what we're gonna do when we do velocity banking is we're gonna make our line of credit as our main operating account. And I'm gonna tell you the secret of getting these lines of credit. And by the way, I just got a new $20,000 personal line of credit like 2 weeks ago, I think. And I know the secret of who banks want to lend to, right? A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this because the bank lies to you in their marketing advertising. You ever watch like those commercials where it's like, we're going to be there for you when you need us? That's not true. Okay. They're lying to you, because the only people that banks want to lend to is people who don't need money, right? So when you're a person who needs money and you go to a bank and the bank runs your credit check and your income debt to income ratios, and they figure out all that, and they figure out that you need money, that's when you get denied. Okay, that's what you get denied. So the way that you get all these lines of credit is that you don't need money, right? Oh, simple as that, right? It's a more of a mind shit theft. Shift. I can't even say anything today. It's Friday. Mind shift set. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, all right. So now what we're going to do with velocity banking is not save money, but increase something called cash flow. So with traditional banking, savings and cash flow are kind of considered to be the same thing. Pay your bills, leftovers cash flow, just put in your savings and then use it, right? Whereas velocity banking, all of our money is going to be used to attack debt. Okay, all of it is going to be used to attack debt. And we're going to assume that we have maybe a $175,000 free and clear line of credit. Now, if we are 19 cents left over, making good money with all this debt, will the bank give us a line of credit? Heck no, because we need money, right? So why do I talk about this? Because think about having a line of credit as having car insurance after you crash a car, right? See, in this situation, it's like you crashed a car, but you didn't have car insurance. But here it's like you crashed a car and you did have car insurance with the line of credit, but you don't get the car insurance after you crashed a car without car insurance, if that makes sense, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But my point is, banks don't lend money to people who need it. But what if you did have a line of credit? What if you did have that car insurance when you crashed the car? Okay. Too many people What they wanna do with their finances is they wanna crash the car and then look for car insurance. That's what they do with their finances. And I said, "You just listen, you don't wanna do that. What you wanna do is get the line of credit before you need the money, okay? That's how I have over $731,000 in lines of credit. It'll probably be more in a couple of months, okay? So, anyways, all right. So, what the heck am I talking about? All right. So, let's go ahead and consolidate some debts and move some of this into the line of credit. So, what I'm going to do is move these 8 credit cards. I think it's 8. Yeah. So, how do we know which debts to move into? Well, we use something called the cash flow index. And all it is a measure of debt to payment, 47.5, right? And it gives us this arbitrary number, 27,000 divided by 855, right? And the lower the number, that means you get more bang for your buck compared to, let's say, these loans. And I got this loan calculator right here. And so let me do this. And then you see how like these are high ranking numbers. Well, basically what this means is that the higher the number, the less bang you get for your buck for paying off the debt. So what we're going to do is tackle out the high interest rate credit cards because they give us a lot more bang for our buck. And how much credit card debt is this? Is 15, 27, 37, 10, 35, 12, 15. And then this is $151,000. $151,000. All right, so let's kind of like doing a balance transfer, move $151,000 of credit card debt. And take a look at this just by moving the debt. Oh my goodness. This is the most clickbaitiest portion of this video. And what do I mean by that? Take a look at this. These payments just go to zero. Okay. And look at this, same income, expenses are shifted around, and we literally went from 19 cents of savings to $0 in savings to $4,676.02 of cash flow. Whoa, how do we do that? That's the clickbait question of the day, my friends. All right, so now the last thing that we have to do, the last step in velocity banking is put your entire paycheck into the line of credit. You take your expenses out and then you rinse and repeat over and over again. And so after every single month, your balance of the line of credit should go down by $4,000 plus some interest, right? You have to take into account the line of credit interest. And then we're going to go ahead and calculate that right here. So this is so easy. Oh my goodness. All right. H2 minus 4676.02. And then what we do is we calculate the interest based on the average daily balance, multiply by the interest rate, and then divide by 12. And then what we do is copy and paste, paycheck in, expenses out, paycheck in, expenses out, right? And then we see that right here in 37 months, it was all paid off. 37 months, right? All right, so 37 months. Okay. Oh, 37 months it was all paid off. And how much was that? That was 151,000. That was Adobe Acrobat notifying me, please make me the default app. And what's funny is that Adobe was a pioneer in like the PDF format, and then they just kind of bloated themselves to death because ironically, even though they came up with the PDF format, their PDF reader is probably like the slowest piece of junk nowadays. You know what I mean? Anyways, what am I talking about? Okay, so $151,000 was paid off, right? So let's go ahead and pay this off. And then now we have to tackle our student loan. So let's go ahead and do this. And all right, we have a $60,000 student loan. And we have this loan calculator right here. So we see that in 37 months. So if we type in 37 right here, we get the current loan balance. And then what we're going to do is just move that 45 grand into the line of credit. And I'm going to do that right here. Okay. I'm going to do that right here. And then I'm going to do Control V. And then what we're going to do is move this plus 45730.8. And then this is going to be 0. So we get about an extra $700 back in our cash flow. And then I'm going to just do this. And then 5372.67. And then how long does it take for us to pay off our student loans? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 months? Yeah, I think about 9 months. All right, so this is now paid off. 9 months, so 46 months. Okay, so 151 plus 60, that's 211K. And then now is our mortgage. So what we're going to do at 46, we're going to calculate this right here. So instead of moving this whole loan into the line of credit, what we're going to do is chunk it down and do it in small little pieces. So luckily we have this velocity banking calculator here. I filled it out because I'm lazy today. Filled out the details, and we're going to do small $9,000 chunks. So one of the things that you'll notice is that even when you do a 30% credit card, the results are kind of comparable. Now, I'm not saying that you want to use a 30% credit card, but the cool thing about this is that, hey, even if you use a 30% credit card, look how little interest you pay. Isn't that crazy? Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you may want to use a 30% credit card. And why is that? It's because the best credit decision is not the best financial decision, right? I'm okay. So let's say I have a card by Discover. I'm doing $10,000 swipes using Plastique to pay off my mortgage. Well, do you think that they're going to raise my limits? They probably will, right? So I'm okay with paying a little bit more, but not paying the 138,000 that I would have paid, right? So just kind of something to think about there. And the other thing too is if you move this whole thing into a line of credit, see, is 25 grand. That's actually more than the 30% credit card. A lot of people don't know that, right? Like you see 25, 18. I might have gone fast, but just rewind this if you don't know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people just fall into the trap of like, oh, put everything into HELOC, right? That's not true. Anyways, yeah. Man, this is so easy. You know what's funny? Like, I'm kind of bored of this velocity banking thing now because I've made over 1,000 videos on it, and I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. So I know for some of you, and I'm not making fun of you when I say this, like when you see this, it's like drinking water in the Sahara Desert. Whereas for me, it's like drinking water in a place where there's plenty of water. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like when I do this velocity banking stuff. Anyways, but yes, I did pay off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. I'm not gonna lie. You just pause this video and stare at this, and feed my ego. And another thing that you can do is just take a look at this. Paying bought a home at $100,000 discount, 2 acre farm, pretty cool. It's like right next to the city too. Love it, right? So I don't have to like drive like 5 hours into some boony land to kind of go into rural property, but about $100,000 discount. And then, ooh, 14 grand check, 12 grand check. I'm not doing the best with my real estate, but I'm doing okay. I think better than average, right? I don't know if you ever read the statistics, but they say that 90% of people who bought a home last year regret it. I think so. I see a lot of videos these days on TikTok about that too. But anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and end this right here. And how long did it take? So it's about 2.8 years plus 46. So 46 divided by 12 plus 2.8, that'll be 6.63 years debt free. Okay, so you ever watch those videos where it's like, with velocity banking, you could pay off your mortgage to 7 to 10 years. I'm like, what are you talking about? Pay it off in like two. You know what I mean? Like, pay it off in two. Oh, man. Yeah, pay it off in 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3. And then if you have debt, pay off all the debt in less than 7. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. Pay off your mortgage in 7 to 10 years. That's a joke. At least for me, it is. All right. Okay. All right. So it's the end of this video, and I know some of you are waiting for what's the secret code word that you want to type in the YouTube comment box below to let me know that you watched to the end of this video. Okay. Let me think for 1 minute what or 1 second what it would be. I got it. I got it. Okay. So if you want to let me know you watched to the end of this video and you're looking at this and you're thinking, what? Paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months? Here's what you should write below, okay? Just write below, I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it's not butter. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just type in Fabio, I can't believe it's not butter, right? Because there's this commercial in the 90s, 1996, where they were actually advertising margarine, which I hear is quite unhealthy for you, um, with the slogan, I can't believe it's not butter. Just like I can't believe I paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months, right? Can't believe it. And I can't believe it's not butter. Anyways, all right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all in the next video. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship.